Oh, hey everyone. I'm Mel Rackham, and we're going to be doing some Starfield. Haven't played it in a while. I have no idea where I left off at. Probably was in trouble in something. Gotta take care of that real quick. Okay. Looks like everything's working. Did load it up at least to make sure that it would load. I do use a handful of mods. Apparently I'm down to just using creations, as they call them. But yeah. Let's see where we're at. I'm Jameson. Hmm. Well, I mean, I'm here. I guess I can do that much. That's not the target that I set.
Captain! Over here!
Yeah, I got you.
The workup's in the cabinet's hands. They said they'll call for us once they've gotten to properly review it. But listen, I know I should have been more forthcoming about who I was earlier. So, in the interest of full disclosure, there's one more thing you ought to know before we head up there. My relationship with the UC. It's more complicated than it might seem at first glance. The UC's actually the only reason I'm here in the first place. I am a clone of a man named Francois Sanon, one-time fleet admiral of the UC during the Colony War, former head of the UC Navy. They called him Ve Victus, woe to the defeated, in Old Earth Latin, a title he earned. The program I was a part of, it was the UC's attempt to create a new generation of military minds from one of their most respected tacticians.
So the
Secure the
Clone Wars.
leadership of the UC military for generations to come. A non-trivial amount of gene editing. Clone, honestly, isn't even really the right term for our relationship, thanks to the amount of donor material that was required to bring me into this world. He and I are different on more than a few levels, but there's no denying the fact we're inextricably linked.
Let's see.
He would have happily told you he was one of the greats. Ultimately, though, it didn't matter. The man I was cloned from, my father, was executed for acts he committed during the war. The man caused a lot of death, on both sides. Freestar Collective, and UC. Military, and civilians. And the things he did, well, they're a part of the reason the UC and Freestar Collective aren't really on great terms to this day. So my
Oh, I
involvement,
am
it could be another obstacle they throw at us up there.
going to have to fix
I
myself
just
here in a
wanted you to
second.
be forewarned.
Yep. Sorry about that.
I just thought you should know about Bay Victus, my father, before we got up there. There's a non-zero chance the cabinet brings him up. He had his men open fire on civilian ships during the Battle of Cheyenne. A battle that he ultimately ended up losing anyway, devastating the UC fleet and bringing the colony war to an ugly end for the UC.
So,
But
literally Star
he's
Wars.
also the one who ordered the bombing of the Londinian spaceport during their outbreak, condemning countless lives. Both sides agreed the settled systems would be better without him. I really appreciate you saying that. I just thought you deserved to know, considering how much you've done already. You know, while we've got a second, was there anything else we needed to discuss? I know you got dropped into the middle of this pretty fast. Or, if you've got any last-minute business to attend to, now might be a good time. No telling how long the cabinet's gonna keep us waiting out here.
Let's see here.
Eye strain from the amount of reading I've got on the horizon if we succeed. The Terramorph project never went anywhere. It couldn't. They're deadly creatures, but they aren't xenoweapons. The cabinet not opening the archives is probably a bigger risk than them handing over the files. That data itself isn't dangerous. Which probably wouldn't be a bad point for us to bring up, should the opportunity arise.
Okay.
I mean, we never spent a lot of time together. He was too busy being Fleet Admiral to deal with kids. I was raised by a pair of guardians instead. Until his defeat during the Colony War, though, he was known as an extremely effective commander. Savvy. Perceptive. That mind opened a lot of doors for him. And for me, too. But Vae Victus, for all his ability, was heartless. Ruthless to a fault. In the end, that's what cost him his life.
You got anything else?
That's actually a souvenir from my time on Mars. The Red Devils unit I was a part of, they were founded by recruits who'd worked some of Mars' deepest mines. Folks used to adversity. The
Okay.
dust at those depths, it seeps into everything. The human eye included. where the name Red Devils came from in the first place. It became an unwritten rite of passage that anyone wanting to enlist with the Devils had to do a stint in the mines before they could join up. The Devils were always talked about in such revered tones during my training, so as soon as I was old enough, I signed up. And the eyes were my parting gift.
Let's see. Oh.
Then I guess it's just a matter of...
The cabinet meeting is about to begin. All parties, please proceed to the cabinet chambers.
Well, I
Sounds
guess
like
that's
our
us.
cue. Here we go. Here on Vanguard business?
Internal affairs. That sounds like fun.
Ah, welcome. You must be the Captain Hadrian mentioned in her report. You have our thanks for the risks you faced in securing this information.
Oh, I'm sure she did.
Yes, well, precisely how urgent is what I hope we'll determine here today. So now, we have two petitioners here making a surprising request. Access to the UC Xeno Warfare Team's Terramorph data, currently housed in the Armistice archives.
Yep.
A request which will require not just this body's agreement, but that of all three Armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House Varun. Now, Captain, we've all read Hadrian's report on the subject, but we have yet to hear from you. Perhaps you could summarize for the Cabinet what it is you see as the goal of this endeavor.
I could be in better standing with Varun, but yeah. Let's see here.
That's quite the leap, Captain. Madam President, I object to the very premise of this meeting. While no one would argue that what happened on Tau Ceti was anything less than a tragedy, terramorph attacks are not some sudden new threat on the horizon. They've been happening for generations. To demand we hand over banned archival knowledge and possibly upset the balance of galactic diplomacy because of a single attack seems at best panic. And at worst, a power grab by the daughter of a bloodthirsty warmonger and her associates.
I would remind the chief diplomat who he's speaking to. If it's my father you're looking to address, you're welcome to consult a medium. I would also
I like
ask
that.
how many deaths the Cabinet requires to act. 50? 50,000? Because if tragedies like Tau Ceti are just prelude to more attacks, I have no doubt you'll get the body count you require.
Let's keep this civil, shall we? And while there should be no doubt the preservation of life stands paramount among this body's duties, Chief Yassine has a point. Will a single attack, however troubling, be sufficient to convince the other factions to grant us access to what they no doubt consider weapon data? I don't think it's enough. Perhaps you can help, Captain. As the one who actually collected the sample in question, did this terramorph seem at all alarming to you?
Just taking her word for it as well, then.
So it would seem. So then, Captain, given the discussion now and the information you've been privy to thus far, if you were in our position, would you grant the request made to open the archives?
This is probably what I would end up doing, to be honest. As much as I hate that.
Inaction could lead to tragedy. I understand the hesitation, but be sure it is rational and not based in fear.
Yes, given what we've heard, I find myself in agreement, Captain.
No, the captain is precisely right. We could hardly be expected to make a galaxy-affecting decision on such scant evidence.
Yes, a fair assessment, Chief Diplomat. So then, while the data you two have presented is compelling, I think we can safely say it's insufficient for the level of action you've requested. Perhaps once we've... What was that?
Attention. Attention.
I think we
An
just...
incident has occurred. Facility lockdown engaged.
I think we
Incident.
just got our...
Chief Sarkin, what's happening?
There's been an attack at the spaceport. Terramorphs.
Terramorphs. More attacks. Just as predicted.
Good God.
Oh no.
There must be another explanation. The creatures evaded our scanner somehow.
There will be plenty of time for conjecture later. Chief Sarkin, order the evacuation of the spaceport and have your men contain the things, but do it discreetly. The last thing we need is a citywide panic.
Yes, ma'am.
Admiral Logan, the local barracks can provide support?
I'll make the order myself. Nearest anti-Xeno squad, though, is off-world. Going to take a while to bring them in.
Well then, we'll have to make do with the tools we've got. You two, we can't risk those things getting out of the spaceport. I want you both on the next train there. We'll let them know you're coming, and that you've dealt with these things before. Now go show them how it's done.
There's so many different groups
Sometimes
across the
Yes,
solar
ma'am.
systems, it's hard to keep up with
Behind
all
a
the work
desk,
they're doing.
deciding the fate of others.
I'm assume...
Ah, hello.
No. I would like out of this menu now.
Until next time.
Inaccessible. So I can't go out that door. Guess we're going downstairs. Yeah, that's not good.
You! The EM rifle, grab it! Now!
I do not wish to judge, but I doubt you true. We need to be carrying.
I need to equip the EM rifle. guess that's what they're talking about.
All of that?
Please! I can't stop!
Destroyed him!
Another fool.
Why that security officer is doing absolutely nothing about that.
Thank God that's over with.
Now, I need to go talk to her. Or him, or them, whatever.
Thank you for what you did. We didn't want to hurt them.
The way those people were acting, I've seen this before. They were under the Terramorph's influence, weren't they?
I don't know. They were down at the port and they just started screaming. We tried to restrain them, get them on the train to get them out of harm's way, but some of the other officers down there, we couldn't restrain them fast enough.
That's not
They
good.
just started firing on us. People we knew. They went berserk.
Pheromonic projection. Some Terramorphs, they can induce this fog. It affects everyone differently, but some people just lose control, turn against everyone around them, even if they don't want to.
Not
They're
good
like
at all.
a puppet. You kill the morph, you break the hold. But this means we're gonna need to be real careful with our fire, and keep that EM weapon at the ready. I'm not suggesting. It's documented behavior. The result of the projection, though, can vary wildly. Some folks just shrug it off. Others hallucinate. And some lose control altogether. They'll lash out at anyone around them, but still be aware while they're doing it. Those cases, you'll either need to knock them out with EM fire, or free them by killing the Terramorph. Let's do it.
Nat's unlocked. Please, do what you can to help them.
Alright, let's go do this. Alright.
I believe we are not alone.
My God, no time to waste, Captain. Stash the EM and pull some firepower. Let's move!
I don't remember how to do.
An evacuation order has been issued for the spaceport district. All citizens are required to proceed to the nearest shelter.
You might back up! Don't just stand there! Good!
There it is! Oh, God. Captain! You're going to be okay. It's not real. Whatever you're experiencing right now, it's not real. We have to put down that morph.
Oh, fuck. Should not have used my grenade.
Closer. Closer. Closer now.
going to do.
Help! Help! They're gonna kill me!
They should have fought harder.
Whew. Okay.
Wait, officer? Are you and this woman experts? Take whatever we can get right now. We've got the remaining creatures locked down on the landing pad, but we're barely holding our perimeter. They said you've done this before, huh? Well, I've got one fire team to spare and whatever supplies you need, but I can't risk them taking over any more of my men. Put those things down and do it fast. We'll hold them as best we can.
Heard you might be looking for some backup. You say the word, we're out there on your 6.
You two
Fuck
have
yeah.
any experience with terramorphs before?
Only the brief they just gave on the way here, but we know how to handle pressure.
Surviving a full-on mental assault isn't the same as keeping your cool in a firefight. Might make you more liability than asset.
We're not UC security. You don't need to worry about us. Roger that. We're on you.
Hate getting all worked up over nothing.
Oh, okay, so I guess it's not that. I mean, nothing's stopping me from getting in my ship and saying, fuck off. Except for I bet it won't let me. Also don't remember how to use my,
Stop! Stop! Don't shoot! We're friendly! Open fire! There it is! Open fire! Fire! Damn it! Compromise! Take cover!
You can't hide.
I think that was the last of them.
I have no idea how to use my special ability though. I really don't want any of that.
If I hadn't
These are
seen you
such a
use it
gift.
myself, I'd
See,
never
okay.
believe that
Your
power was
enemies
real.
might disagree.
Oh shit! God damn.
Rainforest.
Fire.
Right behind.
Oh shit.
Target down. Nice work, Captain.
The rest of the city is safe, thanks to us. You deserve whatever accolades you have coming.
Okay. Let's check this cargo container and see if I can... Alright, let's go see what's over here. Can't help but think that a fire on a explosive tank is a bad thing.
Guess they weren't kidding about you two. Universe put the right people in the right place. Certainly doesn't feel like it.
No.
I don't want to think what would have happened if you two hadn't been here.
Just glad we could rise to the occasion. Captain, we should report back to the President. Let her know the Terramorphs have been dealt with. Take care of yourself, Sergeant.
So 3 Terramorphs? I desperately need better gear.
Attention. The spaceport has been secured. Safety precautions remain in place. Please wait for the all-clear signal before exiting your homes. That is all.
Alright. Where are we going to next?
Whole building's on lockdown.
No, it's not.
That's a relief to hear. Thank you, gentlemen. Captain?
Security loses an officer,
Hadrian?
I make
It would
my
appear that the
responsibility
Cabinet
above
owes
their
you our
family.
thanks for what you did for the city today,
I've got a lot of calls to make.
as well as an apology. Your concerns about the Terramorphs, well, consider them validated.
Thank you, ma'am.
No.
Of course. I only wish we could have acted sooner. Now, after today's events, the Cabinet has decided to revisit its previous decision. We will be supporting your collection of the Terramorph data from the archives.
That's good.
As well as a subsequent investigation into the nature of these attacks. But to accomplish those goals, we're going to need the right people in the right places. As such, the Cabinet has authorized me to reinstate you, Hadrian, effective immediately, to your former rank of Major.
That's
As soon
also
as we've
good.
got the data in hand, we want you investigating these attacks and how to stop them. Will you do this?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. I'd be honored.
Excellent.
Good.
But as you've both made clear, for such an investigation to succeed, first, we're going to need someone to convince the Freestar Collective and House Varun to play ball. Someone who knows precisely the sorts of dangers the colonies and all the galaxy are facing right now. The Cabinet wants you, Captain, to be that representative.
Yeah, I figured as much.
We do. In exchange, we're willing to fast-track your citizenship upon collection of the data. So, will you help us?
Oh, so now it's Starship Troopers. Awesome.
It has its perks. Only citizens can purchase property in the city. We also pay reduced prices on most goods and services across the UC. There's also a credit disbursement when you first join. Help get you on your feet. But above all, you'd become a dedicated part of the greatest faction in the galaxy. If
That's
you're willing to
questionable.
help us, we can open that door. I'm glad to hear it. Now, we, of course, won't be sending you in without the proper support. Deputy McIntyre in the Office of Interstellar Affairs will be your guide on gaining access to the archives. You should be able to find her in her office across the hall. And on behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our thanks. You're dismissed.
The next time Terramorphs rear their ugly heads, the UC is going to be ready.
I'm gonna go check in with Chief Engineer Kulkarni. Start getting a plan together for that data.
This is the last Terramorph attack like this the UC will ever face. You have my word on that.
I somewhat
Yes?
doubt that.
Chief Yassine, these orders can't be... Yes. Yes, sir. Consider it done. That must make you my Vanguard captain. Welcome to Interstellar Affairs. I'm Deputy Chief Diplomat McIntyre, Chief Yassine's second-in-command. I heard you were instrumental in protecting the city from the attack.
I mean,
You have my gratitude.
I killed
I
3
was
of them.
also told the President wants us to get you into the Armistice archives ASAP. So, we've got no time to waste. You know what the archives are, correct?
Sort of?
Someone paid attention in current events. So, then you also know that it was originally managed by the 3 major galactic players. Access to the archives is only granted in cases of dire emergency, and requires a one-time use code from each of the 3 Armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House Varun.
Well,
Now, the UC is already on board, so that means we'll need to convince 2 people. The ambassadors of the Freestar Collective and House Varun to hand over their codes. Get them both and you'll have your data. But that's a lot easier said than done.
Speaking of...
No. Each is a strip of several million random numbers generated on the fly based on biometric keys kept by each of the ambassadors on their person at all times.
So,
They're
yeah.
impossible to create without those keys, and those keys stay with the ambassadors, meaning we're accessing nothing if we can't get them on our side. I couldn't agree more. However, both ambassadors have reasons they won't, or can't, work with us. Now, I'll provide guidance on how we believe you can acquire each code, but ultimately, it'll be up to you to get them both to cooperate. And I do mean cooperate. Threats and violence are off the table here. Though that doesn't mean we can't get creative. But it does mean we need to get you up to speed on who you're dealing with.
Creative threats.
Who do you want to start with? Ambassador Radcliffe of Freestar, or Ambassador Balmore of House Varoon?
Freestar. I haven't done the Varoon stuff yet.
The good Ambassador Radcliffe. She's a veteran of the Colony War, and her only goal in life is to make ours miserable.
It sounds as though I will enjoy this.
Now, officially, our office is suggesting you try and negotiate with her.
Use your experiences as a member of the military and with the threat we're facing to convince her to lend her support.
And who knows? Maybe that'll work. Stranger things have happened. But my suspicion is we're going to have to rely on other tools to get her code.
Certainly. See, good diplomacy is all about the careful application of pressure. We just need to find the squeeze.
UC Intelligence has a
I see.
recording device planted in the ambassador's living quarters, which we suspect you can use to your advantage.
But getting caught trespassing is a quick way to land yourself in an embassy holding cell.
So, if you are going to try and access the device, you're going to need to find a way in there without being seen. Report suggests there's a disgruntled staff member you might be able to pump for intel. Maybe even convince to work with you.
Yes, many. Don't steal anything. Don't get caught anywhere you're not supposed to. Absolutely do not harm anyone. If something goes wrong, we'll do our best to smooth things over, but I can't make any promises.
Name's Cameron Long. He's younger than Ratcliffe, bears less of a grudge towards the UC. He works closely with the ambassador, making him a promising source for information on the ins and outs of embassy life, and someone who very likely hates her guts.
Okay.
All right. Here, your diplomatic ID. I'll give them a heads up you're on your way. Not likely to let you through the door otherwise.
That's not entirely true. Yeah, let's just find out what we can
Ambassador Balmore's a challenge. When the rest of House Varoon retreated into seclusion shortly after the signing of the armistice, Balmore stayed here. He's since lent his support to a small number of archival requests, so there's real hope he might again. Though claiming to know how a member of House Varoon thinks is a quick way to earn yourself a psych eval.
Well, these days, they're primarily considered a security threat. House Varoon Zealots, a fundamentalist outshoot of the group that stayed behind when the rest retreated into seclusion, want nothing more than to send everyone not dedicated to their cause to the great serpent in the sky. But that hasn't always been the case. After they ended the Serpent's Crusade about 70 years back, House Faroon did take a real run at trying to normalize relations with the rest of the galaxy.
Okay.
It's why they have an embassy here in the first place, why they were included in the armistice negotiations. But then, without warning, they left, leaving behind, to our knowledge, just the ambassador and his duty under the armistice. It does, but there's a concern.
Okay.
We're not 100% sure Balmore is actually still alive.
Oh.
His public appearances were always rare, but it's been several years now since he last poked his head out. Scans of the facility show life signs, but not the kind we were expecting. Your task is to find him and kindly but firmly remind him of his duties under the armistice. Then you search the embassy for his biometric key, collect your code piece, and we'll go about notifying his next of kin, if we can ever find them. But let's hope it doesn't come to that.
That's direct but unfortunate.
It would at least be a speedier negotiation. But I, of course, hope the ambassador is alive and well. Now, the embassy front door isn't an option, but our spies have stated there's a side entrance that should allow you access. Here, this device should get you all the way down to the embassy interior. Once you're inside, though, finding the ambassador is going to be up to you. And fair warning, we received a report that alarms might have been tripped inside the embassy during the attacks. Watch out for automated security in there.
Oh,
now,
good.
If you have additional questions or require clearance for a new approach we haven't already discussed, don't hesitate to ask. I'd suggest you start with Ambassador Radcliffe. Approach her while the attack is still fresh in her and her staff's mind. Be smart out there, Captain.
I will do that, but... where's my inventory? It is. I think if we're going back to the Freestar Collective, we should probably dress the part.
There must be something in all of that you can afford to let go of.
There is, but, you know. What would be the fun in that?
Hey. Okay. Hello.
Okay. Hello yourself.
Howdy.
All right.
Yes? You needed something?
And just like that, no more red alert.
Spaceport has anti.
I will not tolerate the theft of any nearby objects.
Everything good? We're here to help.
Oh.
Sorry, but I need sign-off from the Interstellar Affairs office before I can set foot in there.
I cannot help but notice that the Colony War Memorial is in direct line of sight of this embassy. I suspect that was very much intentional.
Probably.
Visitors are only allowed in the lobby, offices, or...
I wonder how many times one side or the other has threatened to close this embassy down over the years.
Terramorphs? As in more than one? All that security and they still can't protect their own spaceport. The UC never fails to disappoint. I just wish I hadn't received the news from an SSNN broadcast. We have a strategic advantage to maintain, Mr. Long.
Of course, ma'am. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Excuse me. Are you supposed to be in here?
Official business? Talk to the ambassador.
I'm sorry. Do you have an appointment? Ah, you're the one McIntyre called about. The eyewitness.
I sure
She
is.
said you were at the spaceport. You have my thanks for what you did down there, truly. Saved many lives. Now, she also mentioned that, and maybe it was just a bad connection, that now the UC wants Terramorph data from the Armistice archives, some of the most highly guarded information in the galaxy, in order to protect us all. I can only presume you're here to tell me I misheard her and that they didn't send you, local hero, to futilely beg on their behalf. Tell me I've got that right.
No.
I was afraid of that. Let me be frank, Captain. The answer is no. That information is there because it is dangerous. I will not be the one responsible for its release.
No, we're
Now,
gonna get along
why don't you
real
quit
well.
wasting my time and yours and go? No, Captain, I'm not, and I'll tell you why. What you experienced down there at the spaceport, I've lived that once before already. Fought tooth and nail as aliens rampaged in the streets of my home and others all throughout the collective. But my aliens were placed there by UC hands. So I'm not interested in anyone getting power like that ever again. The UC most of all. You have my answer. Now please take the hint. You're really gonna push this?
Yes.
All right.
Yes,
I
I
will
am.
give you one chance. One to convince me. Understood. I'm listening. You know that for sure. That is interesting.
I am a Freestar Ranger, so...
A ranger serving the cause of the colonies. You must really believe in this little endeavor. Well,
I
Captain,
do.
you make some good points. But if I'm really granting you access, I'm gonna need the following concessions.
Okay.
Your access will be limited. You can only take out the items related to stopping these terramorphs. The monitors will make sure of it. You go in once. You get everything you need on your trip, and never again.
And all research done with the data will be monitored. If this data is being used to save the galaxy needs to be involved in the oversight.
Okay.
Freestar scientists will watch your people like hawks. So, do we have an agreement? Excellent.
Don't
Follow
like it,
me.
but I don't think I have a whole lot of options in that matter. Okay, we're gonna go around your... Oops.
They tell me it should only take a moment. And there. Here, code generators just this way.
I would prefer that we both remain light on our feet. You never know what could happen.
I won't do that. Alright, so what am I supposed to be doing? I feel like if I was to... Oh, she's actually pretty decent little... What is that? Guess I go back upstairs. Alright. That went a little easier than I expected. Door? Door, okay. Guess I go into the snake house. Oh, the place I used to go to whenever
that they have not demolished the structure, even if diplomacy has ended for now. It may not have been their intention, but it represents hope.
Get into the backside of the map. Until they fixed that particular problem.
Fighting alongside you is never dull. This is certainly different than anything else in New Atlantis.
Yeah, I think I actually want to... Let's do this. No? Alright, so most likely this one. Okay. Let's do... Bingo. So... Now that they're activated... This isn't creepy as hell. Not gonna lie, that kind of startled me for a second.
Decades unsupervised, and it seems this tree has decided it now owns this place.
Shit! The fuck?
Things I would do if I had power like that.
Where's she attacking? Where am I supposed to be going?
Is there some compulsion that leads you to do this?
Yes.
Childhood trauma? It is okay to let things go.
No. I don't wanna. I wanna hoard everything and the game doesn't let me. Let's see. Well, that's problematic. I don't have that key. Okay, and now robots are under my control. That absolutely scared the shit out of me. God damn. Okay.
Not the best you can do.
Okay. I just hope that I did this right.
I never had the patience for computer systems.
Gonna take more than that!
I thought I made those friendly. Maybe upstairs? Doesn't feel like it's the right...
Are you prepared to die?
guess I'm heading in the right general direction.
I will never grow tired of seeing that.
Oh shit, where'd you come from? Okay. Whoever designed the ambiance for this place, you nailed it. Now what that ambiance is just creepy as fuck. And if that's what you were going for, then congratulations.
You seem to have taken on more than you can carry. If you require assistance, please, just say so.
No, I'm good, Andrea. Damn, I'm down to my last 4 picks. I haven't seen a single digipick in this. In this area, so that's gonna be fun when I run out of those. Dre, you're kind of in my way. Oh, just for a container load, okay. Okay. Let's hope this one works. That should be this one. And then let's see. Yeah, we'll throw that switch here just terminal smashed. Alright, good thing is it doesn't look like there is anything of value. So let's look at the final switch, as it were. Beware demons. Hello. No, I mean, this is probably a trap. There's no probably to it, this is definitely a trap. Those stupid dogs.
Rainbow.
So, what seems punishment becomes providence.
Hi, Spock.
A reminder we can never truly know the Great Serpent's designs for us. You have my thanks, and my apologies for the ordeal you just endured. Come, let us discuss. Not the ideal introduction, I suppose, giving you a grand tour of the embassy via barely functioning intercoms. I do greatly appreciate your persistence. I suspect the Venom tree upstairs has worked itself into more systems than I'd realized. But then again, who could cage such a beauty? Eh? Tell me though, what is it like outside? I heard the broadcast mentioning an attack. Then the embassy was struck with a power surge, and then silence. Has the rest of the city suffered quite so badly?
I mean, it's not in the best of shape.
Harmless spores, you have my word, but hard to navigate. Hence why I was guiding you through the intercoms to restore the environmental controls. And release me. It is the sap of the tree that gives it its... well, perhaps not a topic for this exact moment. But I must know of the rest of the city. Does it still stand? Is that right, huh? I shall need to have these repairs seen to sooner rather than later. Now, it cannot solely be the Serpent's grace that brought you here at such an opportune moment. You were sent by the UC. That much is obvious. Who else could just waltz through my door, And the broadcast spoke of terror morphs at the spaceport. A worrying occurrence, certainly, but coming here of all places, when all I could provide is some enthused cheerleading and... an archive code. So the UC requires information, then. On terror morphs, presumably, Do I see this all clearly?
Oh, yeah.
The preservation of life stands as the very purpose of the archives. Using its data to prevent more attacks, there is logic there. But if I am to grant you access, I have a requirement.
Of course you
For
do.
years, House Varun has been known only as an agent of slaughter. We founded this embassy with hopes of shedding that legacy. With little success.
Okay.
In exchange for my code, I require this. You must be the one who ensures it is used for good. Ensure House Varun's legacy is more than just carnage.
Okay.
The knowledge you ask for isn't evil. No knowledge is. It is we who bend it to evil ends. Now, you must assure me this will be used to save lives, not endanger them.
You have mine as well, for what that is worth.
Well then, I shall not fear.
Good.
Please, follow me. Let's hope it still works.
I think he may be trying to take a little too much on. Literally.
Let it be used for good.
Alright,
Will we all be so lucky next time the archives need to be accessed? Something to think on. The affairs of House Varun are our own. They left. That is all there is to be said on the subject. The Great Serpent is so much more than a god. It is fate itself. When our founder, Jinan Varun, left the United Colonies 140 years ago for distant stars, it was the Serpent that compelled him to found his now great house.
Cool.
The Serpent made us who we are today. Its voice speaks to us, shepherding us through the dark, and infuses our lives with the meaning the universe so often fails to provide. House Varun committed itself to the armistice. This was said at the time to be the desire of the Great Serpent, and I do not believe the Serpent decides such things on a whim. So, when my brethren left, I remained, honoring the Serpent's will as I saw fit, as is the right of all his followers. It was tolerable, even pleasant, when my brethren were here in the embassy with me. We remade this place as best we could into a home we all would recognize. Our native flora, our iconography, our connection to the Serpent, they came with us. With my brethren gone, it has been trying. But the Great Serpent has always provided me a path in my darkest moments.
That's good. What's on this personal computer? Okay. Stop. I'm gonna assume that he has said storeroom key. Okay. Was just curious. I like that I can see what they have before I decide to take it. Like, you could steal this, but lost. Let's see how long I can unlost.
I also wish to be prepared for any situation.
Oh, I like that.
But there are practical limits, no?
Okay. That wasn't too bad.
Technology Corporation in the settled systems.
Kind of already started that particular quest line.
To the Terramorph attacks.
Captain, can I help you?
Nope. Okay. Let's go talk to the president.
Excuse me.
Or, I guess, to...
Captain, you're back sooner than... Oh, wait. Did you actually succeed? With Radcliffe? And Balmore?
Yeah.
We're all in agreement.
We got the codes.
You saved him. You Vanguard really do take that above and beyond thing seriously, don't you? Fine work. And now, I've already arranged everything with the archival monitors. When you get down there, the UC monitor will give you instructions on how to deploy the codes. Follow them to the letter. Here, the UC code piece and an archival access card. The entrance is just on the other side of the plaza across from Mast. Absolute best behavior down there, all right?
So don't steal everything. Got it. Hang on a second. Inventory. That's actually not bad looking. I can even dig the space cowboy hat for now. Way better than that.
Keeping the skies safe out there?
That man just echoed sentiment I've heard all over town. The cabinet needs to ensure attacks like this don't happen again.
Okay. Oh.
I do appreciate that not every meter of land was plowed under to build this city. This tree is far too grand for such a fate.
Oh. Oh. Alright guys, I need just a quick AFK. Oh, I will be right back. hope you like being heard on the mic. We're back. That was Shan.
Bitching about googly.
Anyway. Don't need that. Let me go ahead and get the game brought back up here. Let's get into this Armistice archive already. Before I do that, alright. And I don't remember how to put that away.
Captain, we've been expecting you. Please approach the monitoring station and we will go over the rules. Welcome, Captain, to the archives. To proceed, you will need to deposit your codes into the 3 corresponding receptacles. Once they are verified, I will open the door. Your data resides in Unit 18. You will not be able to access any of the other units. Once you've collected your data,
18.
return to the entrance. You may insert the first of the archival codes when you're ready to begin.
Ah, who put all this furniture in the way?
All codes verified. Unlock engaged. You may proceed, Captain.
Oh, okay, into here.
Not everything in the galaxy needs to come with us, you know.
This actually does, Andrea. Guess that's all you needed from me. Alright, this door is not locked. Let's go ahead and save. So nothing of worth. Someone needs to clean this mess up. I guess there's literally nothing else for me to do in here. I mean, yeah, I could technically attempt to breach those doors, but I don't think it's going to go over very well. Alright. I hate it when that dot kind of misleads me.
Captain, can I help you?
No. No, you can't. Alright. Let's...
I asked my boss what they're doing to stop new alien attacks on the city. He said top minds were on it.
Yep.
Sure hope they know what they're doing.
There you are. Captain, Deputy told me what went down. Impressive work.
Captain, if you'd be willing to transfer the documents to the Major, she and I have been discussing what comes next.
Time for us to start getting some real answers, and figure out if we've been asking the right questions. So whenever you're ready.
There you go.
Acknowledged and accepted, Captain. So with the data out of the way, we've been discussing where exactly this work's getting done. The Red Devil's headquarters on Mars, back where you found Percival, seemed the natural spot. Already has the equipment, the safety measures. Though it sounded like the deputy had a few more things she needed to discuss with you first.
Indeed. The most important of which is getting you your citizenship.
Then I guess we'll see you on Mars.
Captain, if you'll follow me.
I'm gonna be a real boy. Well, I guess I get to be a citizen now.
All right, Captain. Are you ready to become a citizen of the United Colonies? It doesn't. We don't really care where else you might have been or might become a citizen. Once you earn your place in the United Colonies, it's yours.
Then I'm ready.
Good. This isn't the only item we need to discuss, so I'll give you the short version. Please raise your hand. Captain, through your actions today and in days past, you have earned your place among the United Colonies. Through service, bravery, strength, and upholding of the mutual good. Will you carry and cultivate these values for as long as you remain a citizen?
Yes.
Then, Captain, I'm pleased to welcome you into the United Colonies as a full citizen. Here, your official ID and your citizenship dispensation. We've also let the Aphelion Realty office out in the plaza know you're approved to purchase property.
Yay.
Now, the other item we needed to discuss. There's a member of the UC who's asked to speak to you, but this person is in a sensitive position. Normally, we wouldn't even consider something like this, but we think this person has information that could prove useful in dealing with the Terramorphs.
Okay.
And they've stated they'll only share it with you. They asked for you by name. So I need your agreement that everything you're about to see is kept in the strictest confidence. You can tell no one. Can you agree to these terms?
Sure.
Let's hope it never comes to that. Head to the elevator. You're going to subsection 7. I'll make sure you're cleared for access by the time you get there.
Alright, so subsection 7, which is a hard thing to say.
Are we at all surprised that the UC has such a massive space dedicated to secrets?
Unsealing access. You may proceed down the corridor. But there are no additional visitors permitted. Your friend's gonna have to wait out here.
Very well, I will wait. You go on.
Good.
Welcome, Captain. Please, come down and approach the intercom. You and I should chat. President Abeyo was kind enough to give me a few files to peruse. Quite the series of accomplishments you've managed. But now you face a foe unlike any other. An invisible enemy, lurking in the shadows. You're going to need all the help you can get. Which is why I hoped we could speak. Do you know who I am?
He does look sort of familiar, but...
There's a reason for that. Introductions first, though. I'm Francois Sanon, but most know me as Vivictus. I was an admiral during the Colony War.
Of course.
One of its great villains, if you believe the slates. I was to be executed for my crimes, but the previous regime deemed me too valuable to simply discard. So they put me here, a sacrifice on the altar of peace. Even my death served the colonies. curious. Has she shared with you the nature of our little family? Did she? So willing to trust Hadrian. I never did succeed in driving that out of her. Our relationship has always been a challenging one. The Major was born to become a great leader, carry on the legacy I established, and was given all the finest training to support it. And she excelled. But the universe cut all that short. Now, though, it's placed even more crucial work in front of the two of you. And I think I have a part to play in helping you accomplish what you've set out to do. It was an attempt by the United Colonies to solidify its own legacy, forging a new generation of great leaders. They were raised by adoptive families made up of scholars and tacticians, trained at the United Colonies' greatest scientific and military academies, displayed incredible promise. But by the time the Colony War came to a close, there was only Hadrian. But that's ancient history now. You have much more pressing matters at hand, with which I can help. After some long years earning the trust of this current regime, the UC has been permitting me to work alongside one of their recovery teams, helping them gather intelligence on, locate, and organize scenarios to lure in some of the criminals that evaded justice after the Colony War. With quite a few successes, I might add. But in the process, I managed to find something else. The names and locations of Hadrian and Percival's old research team. Valuable manpower for the effort you're about to embark on. I'll tell you where they are, but in exchange, I need something dealt with.
Go on.
There is a former colleague of mine, a man by the name of Dr. Reginald Orlays. Like myself and Hadrian, he was involved in some of the United Colonies' more problematic lines of research. Mech weapons were his specialty. If it dealt death, he could make a deal more. When the Colony War ended, he fled, refusing to face tribunal, and has continued to peddle his skills to the highest bidder to this day. But I finally found him. I want you to track him down and deal with him, however you're able. I'm not expecting he'll come quietly. Bring me evidence that the job's done, and I'll tell you what I know.
Yeah, why not have the recovery team do this?
Captain, your files indicate a track record of unlikely successes. It is my genuine hope that, perhaps down the line, you might become a part of our team. And this might be something of a tryout.
Okay.
Good. According to my information, he's been hiding around the world of Etheria, Wolf System. There's a star station in the vicinity, the Den. The head of the local vanguard, one Captain Marquez, Should be able to help you find our man.
Oh, he has his own little swanky little... So yeah, people have been paying big money to keep him. I'm sure none of this will become a future problem.
Identity verified. You may proceed to the exit.
Neat. Oh, that's an interesting turn of events.
Pardon?
Hello.
Captain, did your meeting go well? I hope it's clear now why we needed you to agree to all the secrecy.
Yeah, it is.
Surprised me too when I learned it, but the prisoner has proven useful over the years, and kept far from any major decision-making. But I do think it's worth re-emphasizing. No one else can know about this, all right? The Major doesn't have clearance for this sort of information, and she certainly doesn't need a distraction from her current, very important work. Which is why I need you to keep this to yourself.
Not right.
Good. Because bringing this up to the outside world would create the unfair appearance, Captain, that you're unhinged. And that's not a good look for any of us. Now, was there something in particular you needed to discuss about what we were just discussing? Dr. Reginald Orlaise? He's finally found him. Of course, killing Orlaise is completely out of the question, but bringing him to justice... He's been on the lam for years. That'd be a huge win for the UC. What's being offered in return?
He found the members of the research team. We'd already initiated a search for them, but it'd save a lot of time and manpower if he just gave us that information. Captain, if that's the deal, you have my endorsement. Just so long as you make every effort to bring the man in alive. Now, was there anything else you wanted to discuss regarding your meeting? The Den? It's a star station. Orbiting Wolf, the second star station actually to bear that title. The first one was blown to smithereens by House Varun during the Serpent's Crusade. The place has always acted as a remote strategic hub, primarily for repairing and refueling UC military vessels. But because of its distance from the rest of the UC, things there have always been a little more lax. Patrols included. I can think of worse places in the galaxy for a criminal to hide out. Trusting the man downstairs would be a mistake, but I don't think you need to be too concerned. This is far from the first name he's handed over, and all previous missions went off largely without a hitch. So while I'd certainly warrant caution, I think you can proceed. Then I'll bid you good day, Captain, and remind you of the importance of discretion.
Didn't mean to do that.
Yes, what?
Hello.
Okay.
Greetings, citizen. Welcome to the UC.
Before I do that, I want to see if I can gain a little bit more.
Problem?
I don't think my parents have anything additional. But we'll double check.
Or we could do salsa.
I told you, my left feet have left feet.
The activity will do you good.
But dancing... Planning a proper, honest-to-goodness vacation. Nothing too fancy. I've been promising your mom a trip for years, and I got no excuses now. Your mother's been sending me links all day about such and such deals and excursions, but it'll be good to get out. You know, it's supposed to be us taking care of you, right? I'd like to say we'll pay you back the money you sent home. Well, I appreciate it. We appreciate it. More than you know. Take care, kiddo.
of all the places we've lived, feel free to grab anything you need. Well, one of your old classmates made junior VP at Galbank.
That's good.
Father was bragging for hours. Can't wait to tell him about Constellation. You're welcome anytime. And I mean anytime. You've been loafing around the house all day.
And make it over to Galbank and see if I can spread any rumors. Or to the news network, rather. However, it's not here, is it? It's over in the other districts. I think it's Mass District. I think this is where I'm trying to go to.
Ryujin Industries is looking for the young, bright minds of the future. Apply today at the nearest kiosk.
The lives of nearly every individual in the settled systems are so heavily influenced by what goes on in this building.
I do hope you're taking advantage of our remote transaction benefits. Galbank makes personal finance easy. Money, as long as you have some, should never be something to worry about.
Together
handling.
we can really make a difference.
It's not there. There it is. SSNN.
You doing okay? I know it's been a rough week.
I'm hanging in.
Oh, wow. That watch is super cool.
You have that look in your eye. My source is back. Here to report anything else? Really? To say you have my undivided attention is an understatement. A lot of people were there. The accounts we've got were chaotic. What was your role in that? sounds like maybe you're being modest. Security isn't exactly trained for that scenario. But all right. The whole city is still on edge over the attack. We were fortunate, damn fortunate, that casualties were so low. What was it like in the thick of things?
Sure.
You never know quite how precious life is, until it's under threat. It sounds like New Atlantis, heck, the whole UC, owes you a great debt. Any closing comments? I already have a good story here.
Yeah, we'll go with this one.
That makes me feel better. I feel like such a sap, but it does. Hey, Constellation? From all of us that live here, thanks. We use the word hero a lot in news, but you really are one.
Yay.
I am glad there is still a reliable source of news in the settled systems, though it often travels significantly slower than light.
Well, it's good to see that they cleaned this area up after that terror morph attack.
Keep moving, right through the checkpoint.
Let's see, got your file here. Says you were a bouncer.
All kinds of new possibilities, they say.
Alright, I think I'm going to be calling it pretty quick, but I did want to get to the ship. Show that off real quick. It's been
Got
a while.
anything you need to offload? Trade authorities always buy. Kiosk right here for you.
I have made it up the side of this building before. Alright, whatever. So, this is my ship. When I stop reading out. I think I'm doing a slight revamp on it yet again.
In your orders, Captain.
We'll take her into space.
Say your last goodbyes.
She's a pretty good sized ship.
Orbital pattern locked in.
Pretty decent overall build. But yeah, I think we're going to be calling it at this point. So, hope everyone had a good time. I've been Mel Rackham, this has been Starfield, and I will see you all next time.